Hey guys, this is JB3 and we are back with another FIFA 19 Career Mode series. You can see we have been terminated by Morecambe FC after a long run, and since they have rejected us, we will go and find another job and build from the players we sold on in the Youth Edition series here in our new series, Project Reject. What we're going to do is we are going to go out and find a new job here in the English leagues and build our team with players that we had at one point in the Youth Edition series, and we're going to see if we can build a team that can rival Morecambe FC here in the Premier League and see if we can win the Premier League title. So we're going to use some youth players, but mostly we're going to be focused on trying to build our players that are out there in the different leagues, floating around, see if we can build a championship team. So with that being said, let's get into the series and see where we're going to be managing our football. So we are going to select Brentford Football Club here, as they have the largest budget. They have actually $161 million to play with, so I think that's enough so we can sell off some players, but I really want to focus on bringing in a lot of the rejects into this team. So I think $161 million, we should be able to get a lot of our former players into the squad, so we are going to do that. They want us to fight for promotion. The season just started, only 2 games in, and they are 1-0-1, so let's get in there and see what we can do here with Brentford. So guys, we are here with Brentford and we have taken over the team. We've brought in as many players as we can. So let's go through the squad and take a look at who we were able to bring back here for the reject team. And we see a lot of the players here that we'll try and sell on that are already at Brentford. We have Alessandro Branco, the center back from Brazil, 62 overall. I believe we got him on a free as well. So Tyler Kerr came in. He was a free agent, so we brought him in to fill out our roster, 63 overall from the U.S. He was one of the first players that we brought in. And then we have Francisco Tavares, the striker from Brazil, 65 overall. No potential, though, if I remember correctly. And we have not Curtis Bennett. And we have Josh Tremblay, who we brought back, left midfielder and center midfielder from the U.S., 68 overall. We have Nathan Wolf, 69 overall goalkeeper. We brought him in from the U.S., and then we have Taylor Green, who was actually a long-time free agent. He actually just got on with the club last year, so we were able to bring him in, though, 70 overall, center defensive midfielder. And we have Pereira, the goalkeeper from Brazil, who we were able to bring in. He's showing great potential at 19 years of age, so he's pretty young, so still, not bad, though, 72 overall at 19. We have Mpeba, 72 overall from Nigeria. We have Toby Mitchell, who we saw out to Paris Saint-Germain. He never really got any playing time over there, so we were able to bring him in, 73 overall. I believe he's a 6'6" right back, if memory serves correct. And we have Caio Gomez, who was a big player. He actually scored that goal against us at Stoke City, so we were able to bring him in. He can play basically all throughout the midfield, so good, versatile player there, 77 overall. We also were able to bring in Achampong from Ghana, 22 years of age, 79 overall. We have Colin Henry from the U.S., 80 overall, cam role. And then we have Victor Dubois, 82 overall, 23 years of age from Belgium, and that will do it. Those are the players we were able to bring in. I believe we ended up with 13 or 14. And we have about $6 million left to play with, and see if maybe we can bring in anyone else before the end of the transfer deadline. We'll also try and sell on some players here as we move along through the season. So also with some of our extra money, we were able to send out 2 scouts. So we sent out our 4-star off to England, and then we sent Liam Harrison, who's a 5-star scout, off to Spain for 3 months. Hopefully they can bring some players. We can round out our squad and fill up the bench, because right now it's lacking a little bit of players. I think we still need probably 4 or 5 players to really fill out our roster and have a good run here in the championship. So this is our budget. We have $6.9 million left to go, and that doesn't include a wage budget. So we'll have to see, what we can bring back We can probably maybe get one more player. I know I do have a negotiation going with Daniel Decker, who's a right midfielder. I think he's like 80 overall, so we do have to still sign him, so that transfer budget will go down. We have spent currently $137 million of the 160, so we'll see what happens here as we go through August. Hopefully we can sell some extra players and create a little bit more budget so we can maybe bring in one or two more players. So looking at the transfer list, we have added everyone from Morecambe on here, and then we've also gone through and added all the rejects. So we have Niles Lund, who just joined Napoli on a big transfer fee. I think it was like $40-50 million, so he's just moved. We tried to go in for Barrett, but he was disgusted with our wage budget, but he does have a release clause of only $4.6 million. So we're going to go back after him once that clears and we have another chance at him. We also see some of the other Morecambe FC players. We have Donaghy, who just moved, but big money going in for him. But we have everyone in here, so if any of the Morecambe FC players do get approached, we will go after them and see if we want to bring them in as well. So we'll see what happens here as we go through the month of August. We still have a little bit of time to try and fill out the roster. We'll also have some youth players, so we'll see what happens. I think the team's in a good spot, though, as we get ready to start our championship drive here with Brentford. So as we get the season started, we'll take a look at the objectives. They don't have anything for youth development or brand exposure or continental. We do only have the domestic success. So we just spent $130 some odd million, so I'm sure they're going to want us to win. We want to fight for promotion, and then in the FA Cup, they want us to get to a round of 16, and those are the only two objectives. So, hopefully we can do it. Well, that's the goal, is to get promoted to the Premier League. We want to compete with Morecambe and see if maybe we can knock them off the top of the Premier League. So we do have the Carabao Cup, and as the team's not really set in stone and we're still kind of piecing it together, we're going to sim this one and we'll go through the Carabao Cup. We have it against Aston Villa as the players warm up. We'll see what happens. And it's a 2-0 victory. A good start there. Green getting his goal along with Gomez. So we have come to terms with Daniel Decker, but unfortunately, we spent the transfer budget. I thought it was already taken out when we came to terms with the team, and all we had to do was do the contract negotiations. I didn't realize they leave the money in there until you get the contract done with the player. Probably should have thought about that, but I did not. So unfortunately, we're going to have to reject this and hold off on signing in Daniel Decker. So as it stands right now, we will have a starting lineup here of Achimpong on the left, Tavares up front, Gomez on the right, Henry in the middle with Kerr, Tremblay, and then Mpiba, Dubois, Green, and Mitchell across the back with Pereira in net, and then Wolf, our only player on the bench. So we're here against Derby County, and we will sim through a couple of these games. I don't want to play games when we don't have all the players that we want, and we get a 1-1 draw here against Derby County. So we'll go through the month of August and sim through here and see what the team can do without us controlling it. So we have our game here against Swansea City, and we'll roll out the team here and see what they can do. And it's a 1-1 draw again, splitting the points. So we'll move on to our next game here against Birmingham City and see what we can do. Another 1-1 draw. So we have our second game here in the Carabao Cup, and we'll go up against Crystal Palace. An early goal leads to a 2-0 victory. So we have our final game of the month here against Peterborough, and we'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can get a win. No, another 1-1 draw. So last time we went in for Barrett, he told us to take a walk, but he does have an evaluation, and we can reapproach him, of $27 million and only a release clause of $4.6 million. He's an absolute steal. Let's go try it and grab him. So we were able to get a deal done, so Barrett slots right into the team and quickly becomes our best player at 83 overall, 24 years of age. Hopefully he can help carry the offense. So we will meet on Kleber Menez, who's one of the early players that we had brought in the youth edition, and we'll see if we'll get a deal done here. His evaluation's right around 2, so probably generally going to have to go a little bit higher than that. So we'll go in and try and grab him for $2.7 million, and we'll even add a little sell on too for you. This way it goes just a little piece of the pie you can get. See if we can drop that down, and we do get a deal done. And we'll negotiate the roles here for Kleber Menez. We get him on a rotation. We'll try and get him on a 3-year. It doesn't really matter the length. I'm not too worried about that. We'll avoid a release clause. That sounds good to us. 70 overall. You're going to be a bench player anyway, so that's all right. Sounds good to me. And now we'll have to negotiate the rates here. 17 seems low, but if we can get him on maybe if we can go a little higher on the wage, we can get him on a little bit lower of a signing bonus. And I don't want to, we need to fill out this roster. So I'm going to go big with the signing bonus at 100,000. See what they say. That should be more than enough. And it is. And Kleber Menez into the team. So guys, that'll do it for us here in this one. Brentford currently sit positively average, right on the table at 14th with 4 draws, only 1 win and 1 loss, both of those coming while we weren't the manager of the club, but the team's been filled out. We at least now have some bench players that we can bring in and rotate the squad a little bit, and have all our players, all our guys. That's what we wanted to do. So we brought them in. We have a couple hours remaining in the transfer window with only $5 million. We can't really go out and get anyone left, so we'll have to see what the youth academy brings back and what happens here at the end of August. But guys, that'll do it for us here in this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can always find out when the newest episodes are coming out. And until next time guys, have a good one.